Okay, Raymond, thank you very much for talking to us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem
Tell
at
us how
all.
you're feeling returning back to the Bellator cage, MMA, fight week. How's it all feel?
Honestly, I feel amazing. I'm honestly honored to fight on 9/11. As an American, I know we lost a lot of good men and women, and were attacked by terrorists. Those years ago, so it's awesome to have an opportunity to compete on a day to. Try and create a sport memory on a sad day in our history. That being said, I'm really excited to be able to go out, and I'm passionate, honestly, about being able to fight on this day. I'm excited. The world kind of needs something, and I'm glad that Bellator and Paramount are providing that platform for us to come out and be able to perform safely.
Do you remember where you were and what you were doing on 9/11?
I was a martial arts instructor. I was teaching martial arts class in a session when I got news of it. I wasn't on the TV. Some of my students came in and like, "Oh, did you hear about what happened?" And that's how I found out.
So let's talk about fight week. Your opponent, he's also a kickboxer. He has a kickboxing Muay Thai background. How does it feel going to an MMA fight with a guy who has almost a similar background as you?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I've had a chance to check out his record and stuff like that. He's a stand-up guy. He likes to swing from the hip, so to speak. He has a lot of power behind his shots. It's awesome to go in and actually fight somebody that's gonna possibly try and stand up with me. I think everybody wants to stand up with me until they kind of get in there and start to feel a difference in the movement and the speed and the timing. So I'm excited to be able to fight somebody that has a plan, at least, to go in there and stand up with me. But people tend to want to turn to a wrestler really quickly after they experience some of the movement and some of the speed that I come with. So, I'm looking forward to getting up in there and exchanging with them.
Now you just turned 40 in April.
Yeah.
But you have the athleticism of 25-year-old. I'm just curious to know, what do you do that you just how do you keep that in shape and just be so athletic at that age?
You know what? I try. If people ask me that question quite often, I just turned 40 years old. Martial arts is like the fountain of youth. I have an amazing kids program at my martial arts school, World Champion Karate, in the city of Orange, California. And martial arts is honestly the fountain of youth. I'm able to inspire future generations, so it keeps me young at the same time. I come from a background called sport martial arts. So I have a whole different upbringing than most of the people that do like Muay Thai or kickboxing or MMA. So I have a whole different skill set that people don't understand. So even though that I am 40, I'm still faster and stronger than most of the people that are in their 20s or in their 30s because of the sport where I come from, which people don't understand it. I will always be faster. Even at 40, I'm faster than every 20 or 30-year-old that I ever spar against. No one can ever hit me. So I carry that confidence of that life experience from my sport martial arts background over into the MMA arena. And it's what allows me to go out there and be creative because I have a skill set which no one else will ever be able to compete with against me. So I can learn, and I respect their skill sets with their wrestling, with their jiu-jitsu, with the Muay Thai, but they don't understand, or necessarily, not that they don't respect it, but they've never put the time and the energy to understand my skill set. So therefore I'm always dangerous to them because I do respect their skill sets and I practice them often, but they can never have anybody that can do what I can do. So it's hard to train against what I do. So therefore, I'm always faster and more explosive than any opponent I ever face.
You beat your opponent. What would you like next for Bellator? Do you want to go back to Bellator kickboxing, if that's still a thing, or do you want to continue in MMA? What's your future goals?
I'd like to continue down this MMA path. I've been evolving as now as a complete mixed martial artist. So I'm looking forward to competing for the MMA title sooner than later. So I would like to get another fight in before the end of the year, and then I would like to start coming after the upper echelon, so to speak, of Bellator, and making my way up to the top to Douglas Lima. Like I said, we fight under the same umbrella. I'm the Bellator kickboxing champion. He's the Bellator MMA champion, and no one has ever done that before. Usually, you go up either a weight or you fight somebody from somewhere else. But most of the time, people aren't willing to risk what it is that they have. It's because they want what you have, but they're not willing to risk what they have. I'm willing to risk what I have against Douglas Lehman, meaning I'll risk my kickboxing world title versus his MMA title. They say iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. So I'm willing to test my metal versus his metal and go out and compete. And if he can beat me, he can have what's mine. If I can beat him, I can have what's his. So for me, I think that makes it that much more entertaining and makes it that much more of something because it puts something on the line for me as well.
Do you have any opponents in mind for your for fights at 170?
No. After I finish this fight, I want to get maybe one more fight, and then I know we don't really have a top 10, say, here at Bellator, but I think I'll put out my top 10 list, my own personal top 10 list of people that I have that are on Bellator, I believe on the Bellator's top 10, and then I'll be open to fight any of them that want to go.
Can we see the return of the 720 punch?
Oh yeah, I got a few new other tricks up my sleeve and stuff like that. Like a lot of people ask me if I have a set thing that I'm gonna go do. I fight with my evolution systems like in a flow state. So my body kind of adapts to kind of whatever situation presents itself. So I got some really cool stuff that I actually really want to get out that the world has yet to see. I think the difference between me and other fighters is I'm the only one that's not scared. Most people think about it in their living room or practice it in their gym, but I'm the only one that's not afraid to get under the big lights and actually try out the crazy moves. And have some success with them as well. So yeah, I got some cool tricks under my sleeve, so to speak. So I'm really excited about that.
Great. We're looking forward to the fight. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Looking forward to 720 or 1080 punch, whatever it's going to be.
Yep, I got some new stuff.